Hi, happy Wednesday night, everyone. Those of you guys who are watching from North America, thank you so much for attending this special live stream event. My name is Akira. So this is Thomas. So he just joined us like in Houston, Texas, US, and then I just wanted to like introduce you guys, to him because well, he may be talking to you guys like pretty soon, right? So, okay, just why don't you introduce yourself, like Thomas?
Like he said, my name is Tomas Ayala, and I'm Yamato's new sales representative for North America. I look forward to working with everybody here, and today we're going to make some noodles, and we're going to go through the whole process.
All right, thank you, Thomas. So yeah, what we are making today is like udon noodles. Like udon noodles, for those of you who don't know what udon noodles are, right? It's one of the fastest growing types of noodle like in the world. So in fact, like we've been getting a lot of inquiries from North America about this type of noodles that they want to produce like authentic ones, and then turn their customers into like raving fans of these noodles. So I think these type of noodles are going to grow a lot from now, right? In the North America, and then also Europe as well. So yeah, and then type of noodle, I mean, there are so many types of like udon noodles out there, and then across Japan as well. There are so many regional type udon noodles, right? But the particular type of noodle we are making today is called like Shinuchi udon, right? Shinuchi is like old name of Kagawa, and then it has like this very distinctive noodle texture. To like it's very chewy, firm, very thick, right? So that's what we're gonna make today, and then so by watching this live stream, right, you guys are gonna be able to like master how to make authentic Shinuchi udon noodles from scratch. So let's get started. So we have this is our showroom, by the way. We are broadcasting from our headquarters in Kagawa. Well, with the old name Shinuchi. But so we have a bunch of noodle machines here, and then this is the best-selling udon machine. It's called Shinuchi, and this is an all-in-one machine. It's got a mixer, it's got a press machine on the bottom, right? The bottom unit. So the bottom unit basically are used to make dough, right? And then the top upper unit is used to make process the dough into the noodles, right? So like for you guys to be able to like make authentic Shinuchi udon noodles, like you have to make dough in advance, right? A day before. So that's what we did. Well, I didn't do it, but like maybe we did. But but let's start with the first process. It's a mixing process, right? So for udon noodles ingredients, we have so this is a mixer, right? This is a 12.5 kilo mixer, and the reason that why it's 12.5 kilo is that like one bag of flour in Japan is 25 kilo, and then it's half of the capacity, and then so we put that flour right in there, which is udon flour. Udon flour has a protein content of like 8 to 9%, well 7 to 9%, right? And then basically higher the protein content, the harder the noodle texture, right? But udon noodles being thick, if you're making like really hard noodles, then that's not going to be a good noodle texture, right? So we want to have flour that has like not too hard, not too soft. It's kind of in the middle. So that's why we use the flour with the protein content of like 7 to 9%. And over there, we're like maybe it's like making this water solution that has a lot of salt and then a little bit of vinegar and water, dissolved in water. That's what we're going to add to the flour to make dough. And So right now, like we just mix the flour, right, by itself for 1 minute, and then we're adding this water solution, right? Like we don't want to add like all the way once. We just want to add like maybe 2/3 of it, like half of it, and then mix it for 4 minutes, right? Well, the reason for that is like we want to like gradually hydrate the dough. I mean the flour, right? To make dough, because after all, like what we want to have is that like we want to have the dough that has like kind of equal, with water like equally distributed to the flour, right? So that we can have a dough that has like equal between dough water, right? So but then after mixing, right, we want to rest it in the resting cabinet that we have like at the temperature of like 28 degrees Celsius. So after mixing for 5 minutes, and then get the dough out of the mixer, and then put it in a plastic bag, and then put it in a resting cabinet at 28 degrees Celsius for 2 hours, right? So me came in this morning and then just made the dough and then put it in the resting cabinet and then rest it for 2 hours. So after that, right, we want to press it. So this is a press machine, simple press machine, but like in old days, and then well, there are some udon shops that actually do it this way, but like in old days, people step on the dough, right, to work it, right, work the dough to strengthen the dough noodle texture, dough structure, like kind of working the gluten, right? We still have udon shops in Japan, I mean in Kagawa and then other regions that still do it this way, but it's a lot of work. Actually, it's very labor-intensive work. You'll be sweating a lot, like after like maybe hour and then 1.5 hours, like stepping a dough, right? So we created this press machine to do it, like because we just because it takes like maybe 3 minutes, right, for the whole process of this pressing. And so after the first pressing, like fold it, right, fold the dough so that like entire area of the dough like gets pressed and worked, right? So this is the pressing kind of process like that, kind of where like we work the dough, right, to develop like gluten, strong, firm gluten structure. And then this is like very essential vital process in developing a very strong gluten structure, which gets translated into like the chewy, the firm noodle texture of Sanuki udon noodles. And so as we press more, right, and then fold it again, as we press more, like you see that like the dough is like getting kind of smoother, right, kind of getting kind of bouncier, getting tight in terms of the texture. So what we're doing is just basically raising the press unit, and then the press unit, like, and then presses the dough on the top of the the ceiling, right? I just press it against the ceiling so that dough gets pressed. Like, well, dough is actually getting like very strong. I mean, huge amount of pressure. It's a tons of pressure that dough is getting each round of pressing. Okay, so that was the third press, and so we are folding again, right? So the dough is like getting pumped up, but like it's almost like almost like it will work out, kind of lifting weights and stuff like that. to develop the muscles, right? And then yeah, so basically like dough is getting pumped up, like and then as we can show you guys later, but like when you touch the dough and then press the dough, right, that the dent that you make, right, with your finger or something, it just gets back up like very quickly because it's pumped up. So after this, right, as kind of same as like kind of muscle building, right? We want to rest the dough, right? We want to rest our muscles to kind of for the muscles like kind of rest and they like kind of recover, right? So like we need a recovery period, right? Before we start like working out again. So that's like kind of proper method of like working out. So fifth pressing, then I think we're done. So if we like press like more times, right, and then like probably the dough, the gluten will be break, like we are breaking muscle. So we'll stop at fifth press. Yeah, so let's take it out and then see like how the dough is coming. So we want to like put in the resting cabinet again for second resting process. But like before we do that, like we want to divide it into pieces because tomorrow, right, we come in and then like we start like thinning and cutting this dough, right, into noodles. But if the piece is like too big, then it's gonna be like very hard to process it. This machine, so like we want to divide it into around like maybe 1 to 2 kilograms of dough. That's a good that'd be a good amount to process on this machine. And then see like the layers, right? Layers that are made during the press process. So these layers are ones that like are what actually makes the udon noodles texture very firm and then chewy and then kind of complex, right? So put them back in the plastic bag and then yeah. So we want to push back into resting cabinet, right? But resting cabinet, but like this time we want to lower the temperature to 18 degrees Celsius, and then then we want to rest it like for longer time. It's overnight, like we're talking about like 18 to 24 hours at 18 degrees Celsius, like kind of cool temperature. Yeah, so like over there, like we have a like bunch of resting cabinets, and then Megumi is adjusting the temperature inside. So there's like a cooler and then heater, right, in the resting cabinet. So we can control the temperature inside between 5 and 35 degrees Celsius. It's like a wine cellar cooler, but like a little bit different temperature range. It's kind of like proofer, yeah, bread proofer, but like a little bit different temperature range. And so, but make me prepare the dough, right? Yesterday in advance. So we're going to start processing them, but like they're just too thick, right, to be processed through this roller. So like we want to flatten them, but if we flatten them like by themselves, like they're gonna stick together, right? So we want to dust them well before flattening them in this press machine. Yeah, so Shinuchi machine like is all in one. Like you can, make authentic noodles, authentic udon noodles, especially udon noodles. But you can also make like high hydration ramen noodles, like kind of Chinese noodles, and then like pasta, like but anything that's above like 45 hydration ratio. You can make them like very, very high quality and deliciously. So yeah, so we flatten the dough, right? So we have like very nicely shaped dough over there. So we're gonna start thinning, right? So we're gonna start thinning, but like we want to thin the dough like gradually, not to damage the gluten inside the dough, right? So you may notice like in Megumi is like kind of getting the gear up, right? The shift gear kind of like system, right, on the left side of the machine, right? So she's kind of going up from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, 5, right, 6, 7, and then as she like goes up, right, the roller gap like narrows, right? So get kind of like thinning gradually, and then notice like she's like inserting the dough like in different directions, right? So that gives kind of the dough, again like kind of worked out, like kind of muscle developing process of like kind of getting worked up like on the different direction of the dough, right? So this dough is gonna be like very strong, right? Against like pulling from different directions. So that gives us like a very good kind of complex noodle texture. And then you may notice that like there's this like display over here, like a little display. This is actually monitor that measures the thickness of dough, right? So as the dough passes through this sensor, it's showing the thickness of the dough, right, in millimeter. So see like now 6.5, 6.8 millimeter thickness, like but like it's doubled. It's folded and so it's doubles. Like so divided by 2, 3.4 or so millimeter thickness. So the the noodle size, like the thickness, width is very important in creating the authentic, like very good noodle texture. But Sanuki udon noodles like typically 3 millimeter to like 3.5 millimeter thickness, and then 5 millimeter in width, right, around. So now it's cutting. It's cutting, but like this machine uses this like knife that kind of goes up and down, right, and it's cutting, right, and then width can be controlled by the speed of conveyor that's sending this dough into the cutter, right. So now it's cutting, and then the tray below like moving side to side, collecting the noodle strands that are being dropped from the conveyor above, right? So when we slide this tray out, the noodles are kind of lined up like nicely. So yeah, we have beautiful looking udon, Sanuki udon noodles, lined up nicely. And then so we want to again like dust them well, and then kind of comb them through, like make them straight, so that they don't get stuck, like while we cook them, right? So after that, like we cook them, and then we wash them all, like through of the starch, like removing the starch off the noodles, and then chill them, or yeah, and then portion them, and then we serve them customers. So yeah, this is the whole process, like Sanuki udon noodles. あれあれこんなだったですか？うどんのこんなかった。いや、うん、いや、どこ置いたんやろ、この辺に。うどんの方。Yeah, so like it's very easy actually. Like when you utilize this kind of equipment, for you to make like authentic udon noodles right from scratch, like freshly from scratch. It's all in one machine, and then and then the good thing about us is that like we not only manufacture and provide this kind of like equipment for you to be able to like make authentic noodles like consistently with the highest level right in the world, but like we also provide training courses. Like we're actually having like udon course, right? It's a 5-day udon course like here in Kagawa this week actually. Using this kind of like a textbook we have, right? It's, and then we use this principle called like digital cooking, where we rely on numbers, right? I mean, I think a lot of chefs like rely on like experiences, like their physical sensations, right? But we human beings have like different conditions, like on daily basis, like we have different conditions, like probably environmental change, right? Temperature change, like so. But like so it can be very unreliable, right, when it comes like creating tastes. But our methods are based in science, right? And then all about numbers, right? How many minutes, how many seconds you need to cook this thing, or like what the temperature it should be and stuff like that. So we have a book, textbooks, like different types of textbooks, like and then you can see the details of these books like on our website, yamatonoodle.com. We also have online school, right? If you can make it to Japan, you can just like access to our resources online school, like onlineschool.yamatonoodle.com. You can go there and check out like what we have, right? We have a lot of free resources available for you to like kind of start studying right away, right? So please check them out. And then if you're interested in joining us for udon school, right, in Japan, we have facility here in Kagawa, right? We have the exact same facility in Tokyo, as well as like all the information provided in yamatonoodle.com. So if you're interested in it, please check them out at the website. So yeah, that's what we had today. And then Japanese yen is like being very weak, right? And I think it's going to be like weak and continue to be weaker against US dollars, the Canadian dollars. So for those before interested in coming to Japan, like now it's the chance, right? Take advantage of it, and then we see you guys like in Japan, yeah. So thanks so much for watching, and then please if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And then, if you like this kind of content, please hit the like button. And then we hope to see you back in the next live stream. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.